Grew up in a town called Ravenna, Ohio. Had two loving parents, stable home. I was your average all-American kid. I did well in school, excelled at sports. I was never into trouble, never into drugs or alcohol. Ended up in prison for taking a person's life. And that's where the Lord started taking over my life. I always believed in God, I just didn't have a relationship with God until I got incarcerated. Then I started taking my faith more seriously, started reading the Bible on a daily basis. And I ended up going to prison, ended up serving 33 years, but fortunately I was walking with the Lord for 32 of those years. And it was just a blessed journey. He put the right people in my path, shielded me from harm. I'm like a prime example of how He can take the darkest, most hopeless situation and turn around for His glory. And I'm a living example of that. Yeah, I met Mike in 2006. Mike Swaggart, while he was in Grafton. Then when he got out, him and Gary Coley formed True Freedom and started coming back into Grafton. And at that time I was working in the chapel. So that's how we developed a relationship. And I started attending their programming, and over time started facilitating some of their programming, and our relationship just grew and blossomed from there. Yeah, Gary Coley was a huge impact with the prison ministry. That was the highlight of the week. Everyone looked forward to going to his classes because he was so loving and jolly and just had a great time. And it was a tremendous loss when he passed. I mean, I could just imagine the impact it had on those incarcerated, because we just look so forward to seeing him every week and learning from him and fellowshipping with him. And it's just, like I said, they make you feel like you're human and not as an inmate. On top of that, you've grown by learning the Bible, by learning more about our faith, and they just encouraged us and instilled hope in us, because it's scary thinking about doing a long term, then getting out. They sort of alleviated that fear because of the support and the love that they've shown you. They went and spoke on my behalf at the parole board, advocated for my release at my full board hearing, and quite frankly, they played a huge part in that and vouching for me. So parole board didn't have to just take my word. They had someone reliable that they knew vouching for me. So got me a job, temporary job, while I was in the halfway house, just so I can get out of the halfway house. And they provided me a car. It was all paid for. So that helped alleviate some of my worry about bills. I didn't have a car payment because they provided me a car for transportation. So that in itself was huge because it allowed me to get back and forth to my job. But once I got out of the halfway house, they got me the job that they always had intended for me at Relink Medical, where now, from being there after 2 years and a couple months, I'm supervisor now of the receiving docs, and I'm also a supervisor of the inmates that we get from Grafton Reintegration Center. So I oversee them as well. So things are going great job-wise, and True Freedom played a huge part in that and get me that position. True Freedom is a ministry that shares the love of Christ to those incarcerated and gives them hope and support upon their release.